You were there every step of the way, though I found myself lost in the flames. You shut the lion's mouth, carried me out, and your faithfulness has ever remained. Yes, your faithfulness has ever remained. To understand where I am now, you have to understand what God delivered me from, so that you'll know I went through a darkness, a long, long darkness, that it only took Jesus Christ to deliver me and use me where I am right now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was at the bottom, I was in the lobby of our dorm. And you thought it was real cute?
Look back around the corner, she's still sitting on the couch. And then I finally got my nerve up to go up and talk with her. And I sat down on the couch, and that's really how I began to meet her. But I knew when I first saw that she was the one that I really wanted to be with.
And so we started planning our marriage. I was living in Dallas, and so I moved home with my parents, and that was so exciting for my mom. She got to help me plan my wedding, and it was a great thing. I had the 12-tier cake, and I had the 12 bridesmaids, and my dad bought all the material for my wedding dress to be made, and the girls had on rose taffeta.
I had a top hat and the cane, overhead. Man, it was. I don't really remember too much about it. It just seemed like it happened so fast that we were in the church and then we were out.
I was only married 2 years when I got introduced to crack cocaine, and believe it or not, the crack cocaine took the place of my husband, and that went on for 18 years.
Initially, I didn't know what was going on because it was just out of character for her to be gone all night. That's what really got me afraid.
My first time ever staying out all night long is when he first found out.
I called my sister, and she called the police department.
To the morgue, the hospitals.
I was just afraid.
I had never did anything like that before.
And then when I finally saw her again, then I think that's when she told me that's what she was doing, and I was furious. I was more than furious. I was almost like a madman, and it was not pretty.
Stephen took a back seat, and it came up and took a front seat with me.
It was a struggle for me to try to, deal with it, because me being a paramedic, I see these people out, I'm going on calls with these people, and I'm seeing that, and now I got it in my own house. It didn't make me feel good. So on my off days, I would sit there and I would kind of call me medicating myself with more alcohol, more drinking, and that started me on a whole different path. And then the household was just totally upside down. With me drinking, with her doing her stuff, it just made everything just totally insane.
I went to rehab in 1988.
Place you go in there and stay for 30 days, a real nice facility. I paid a lot of money for it to go in there.
My husband paid $10,000.
Matter of fact, it was $10,000 to put her through this thing.
I stayed out there for 1 month. I talked to all type of specialists.
She got out, and it was like we had a graduation party. Yeah, brand new person coming out. Shoot, about a week, maybe 2 weeks later, look like ain't nothing happened.
I called a taxi at 4:30 in the morning. He came to the house, picked me up. I only had $50, and he took me to Oak Cliff. I paid him the $40. That was all of my money. And by the time I got to my cousin's house, well, there was 4 people in there, and one $10 rock does not go far. So I gave the guy the money. He went and got the rock. It was so tiny. It's odd that I should take my phone, but I wanted to take my phone. It didn't have any minutes. It was a prepaid phone.
I got $10, and I went and put it on her payphone. You know, I just wanted to call her when I got off work.
A guy and his chick showed up.
And I heard them talking about me, and I heard her saying that she didn't like me and that she was going to cut me.
Put the money on there, went home, took a bath, sat down on the couch, and started reading my Bible.
She kept saying, "Where's my purse? Where's my purse? I'm gonna stab that." And I thought it was such a blessing and a miracle when I think about it now. Her purse was on her shoulder.
I prayed. But what I prayed for was, God, help me to stab her before she stabs me. Because I wasn't finna die up in there.
The Lord told me, I know it's the Lord that told me this. He said, call Renee. You know, read my Bible, you know, I'm gonna call her after I got through. Call Renee. Okay, so I get on the phone and I call her.
So then the phone ring, that's my husband. And he calls and he says,
hey, blah, 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 what you doing? How you doing? She said there nonchalantly.
But you know, I'm geeked at that time. I want some more dope. I said, okay, I'm not doing nothing. So he says,
you wanna go to a movie?
I said, well, can you call me back later?
Call me later. Get off the phone again. And you know, the Lord spoke to me and said, head that way.
You know, she said it again. Yeah, I'm gonna hurt her. Man, I'm gonna stab her.
She was going to kill me.
So I prayed again. But this time that prayer that I prayed was, God, if you will help me, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And as I prayed that prayer and finished it, the phone rang again.
She says, come get me. Right now, you know, pretty much on the freeway, heading pretty much up there around Greater Southwest Parkway. When she said, come on, I'm halfway there now, you know.
He said, look, I'm on my way. I said, okay. And I told him where I was, and I guess he got here in about 20 minutes.
I drive around to the back of the apartments, you know, and there she is walking down the middle of the street.
So Stephen pulls up. I'm walking out in the middle of the street. And I asked him, do you see me? I'm on the phone, and he's on the phone. He says, where are you? I said, well, do you see me?
And that girl was walking about 10 feet behind her. This was the girl I found out later was the girl that was going to kill her.
And after Stephen picked me up and dropped me off, he didn't come in the house with me.
I didn't stay here that night. I dropped off here because we had already had a tumultuous relationship at that time, and I didn't want to go back through that, me being here.
And I stayed in that house for 3 months by myself.
After being so many times of all this stuff going on, and I'm going to straighten up and all this kind of stuff, I didn't believe her. I didn't believe anything she said. You know, I was still praying for her because, you know, she was my wife and I still loved her and I would like for things to change. But, you know, I already sent her to rehab.
I was wore out, I was beat. And I had nobody, no people. All I had was Jesus Christ. And in those 3 months, he babysitted me. In those 3 months, he taught me, he showed me, and he told me to go to that Bible.
And after that period of time, I got to watching and I was listening to her, and things began to change. Her attitude, it was something in here that was different. You know, I could look in her face and her eyes was different, you know. I was sitting up there listening to her, what she was saying and things out of her mouth, you know, the Lord had done this here. And I'm looking in her eyes. I'm sitting up there listening to her now, you know, and I said, wait a minute, there's something different in her. This ain't the person that's been going all these years. This is somebody else. This is the person that I knew then.
November 22nd, 2002. That's the last day that I did crack cocaine.
And that old person hadn't come back. The enemy was gone. A totally different person, an improved person, really. It's a different program when you take God's program. That's what I look at in hindsight. 1 step, that was it. Not 12, not 30 days, just one step. That's it.
Jesus Christ has used me as the example of a life changed. I know it can be done because Jesus did it with me.
You hear me? God's gonna give you a blessing. Yourself, okay, I was just talking about myself. Don't make me get on me. You know, tomorrow I'm having a wedding. And so there's a couple of things I need to make it complete, not much. And my main focus though is my husband and I have been doing this, I say about maybe 8 or 9 years, but we target couples that are living together, because most of the time when people live together, you know what they say? We can't afford it. We want to wait. Well, we want to wait till we met. What are you doing? And most of the times, these couples already have families. So, you know, we've been doing that all these years. This is not for just somebody that says, Johnny, you love me. We're talking about people that are actively living and playing husband and wife. We target them, and then we zoom in. So,
And then we give them the gift of, hey, come to our house. We'll buy the wedding cake, and we'll have all this big party, and we'll provide you with a pastor. We want to see a life change. We want God to bless them in being obedient to Jesus.
well, they've been trying to get married for 8 years. Every year when they get the income tax, well, we're going to do it this year, and they never do it. I understand that, because that's just how it is. That's how we all are. We all make those promises to ourselves that we're going to do this and do that, and we ain't going to do a darn thing. I know. If anybody knows, I know. That is not a good one, so I think I'm going to get this right here. But I really want the ones with the black.
The way the Lord uses me today is that I must be a servant to others. That's why He saved me. I pray that the Lord would just give me assignments that's gonna bring people into the circle of Jesus Christ. Come on, act like you know me.
I don't know this one. Who is this strange woman?
So everything I do now is what Christ has done for me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
One time I had an audition to be on a popular television show, and I just wanted to be on it really bad. Mom Lorraine called me, and she wanted me to come and sing, and the audition and the singing was on the same date. I had to remind myself why God saved me. He saved me to serve. He didn't save me to do me. So I ended up coming here and singing. So ever since then, she's always been asking me to come and join her to sing, and that's a privilege.
She has a special way about her that draws you in, and I believe that a great number of people are attracted to her through her voice and through the way she presents her music.
All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. I'm here to enlarge Jesus' kingdom. Why not come here? And then there was the lady in the wheelchair that said that all she wants for the rest of her life, and that lady's probably 90, is to have a better life to live for Jesus. Is that not enough to inspire you? And I love that old cross where the dearest and best For a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it
I think people do
someday
see
for
Jesus whenever
a
Karen
crown.
sings.
I pray that the rest of my days I can inspire other people too by them seeing what Jesus is doing in my life. So this is definitely a ministry that I am so blessed. And for me, well, you know, I'm 55. That's not very young, but it's a great example for me to serve. I think everybody ought to get in somebody's nursing home and come in and seek those people who don't have a relationship with Christ. A lot of these people don't see Jesus on a regular basis. They see an attendant. They see someone that dresses them. They see someone that pushed them in a wheelchair. But for that moment, just that split moment, I believe they all saw Jesus. I never imagined in my whole life that I want to be a mom, and God said, okay, you're going to be a mom. So I'm going to bring you this little white woman, and she's going to live with you and your husband all the days of your life. We're going to hear with Miss Nedna, so Nedna. Nedna Mae Brown Dotson. That's our daughter. She's a little white, but we just don't put her outside very much. Nedna met me at a Christmas show. I was passing out, I'm in the choir, and I had joined the choir then, and I was passing out these programs. And so when she came around the corridor, she just, boom, she saw me. Nedna has cerebral palsy. Okay. All right, Nedna. Come on. And you know, after you have your coffee, what you need to do, make this bed up.
Yeah.
Because you know you got some tours today. You know we got the wedding tomorrow. You already prayed, right?
Yeah.
You did pray, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. She's been here with me and Stephen for 3 years, April the 11th. So one day the caseworker called and asked me, would I take Nedna? Nedna had told her that I know somewhere I can go and live. It's with the Dotsons.
I was so desperate to get out of the house that I had no choice. I'll make it short. When I was at work, I came home and my karaoke was gone.
Nedna, that's a whole different story. That's when somebody broke in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, what they got to do with this?
Anyway, so
Okay. But you know, when God has plans for you, He give you an assignment. You often wonder, well, why me? But God knows things about you that you don't know about you. So I said that without thinking, and after I said that, I'll be honest with you, I got very afraid. You know, God just got a bigger picture of what He knows, what it takes for His servants to stay at the cross. And that's what Nedna is to me and Stephen. And we realize Nedna's going to be with us for the rest of our lives.
And she always calls us mom and dad. Now, can you imagine that out in public? But you know what?
Most people never want their child to grow up. And those are the ages you love the best as a parent. And God has given me that. Nedna
is only 4'11". She wears a little girl's 12 shoe, size 12 shoe. And I'll always, for the rest of her days and mine too, shop for little kids' clothes.
And I love on her like non-stop sometimes.
I love you, Ned.
I love you too.
I think the music that she's singing is music that I think that people who are growing in Christ need to hear.
I sing now strictly for Jesus Christ. That's who I work for. That's who I sing for, and that's who I please is Jesus Christ.
We all need God, we all need a Messiah. Hell is below us, we walk in the tight wire. Jesus, I feel defeated, mistakes are being repeated. I pick up the Bible, read it, my sins are being deleted. I was stranded and lost at sea, surrounded by sharks, living, swimming, caution free. Thank God, Christ died on the cross for me. Hey Renee, tell him who you used to be.
My name is Eric Edwards, aka Realize. I've been doing hip hop music for quite a while. I don't care to say how long. Lately been working with Karen Dotson on her new hit single that I wrote, which was co-written by Lauren Coy here. It's called Who I Was.
Who you used to be.
I was raised in a little town.
Come on.
Really not a lot around. I shut the life kept me bound, but that's who I was. Daddy dropped us off the church. He was busy drinking, chasing skirts. Can't imagine how my mama hurt, but that's who he was.
It was a Sunday morning, and we were just getting gas and going to the grocery store.
We pulled up, we were listening to some music that I recently recorded.
All I heard was Jesus. Jesus. And so I kept hearing the Jesus, kind of in spots, and I said, okay.
And Lauren says, hey, go give this lady over here your CD.
Well, normally when I hear hip hop, and if I don't hear something about Jesus, you know what I do? I blast my stereo up high and put my bass on.
They have a competition stereo contest.
No, I just don't even look at them. I'm like, I'm for Jesus, and I want you to know it.
When he got in the car, I said, go give her one of the CD you just made last night. I feel like God wants you to do that.
So after that, I kept on pumping the gas.
I said, I don't really normally do this, and I know this might sound weird, but my girlfriend thought that God might want me to give you this CD.
And I did put it in after we left.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to Karen about the music, and she says, "Oh yeah, I did a song called Jesus Is My Superhero."
Jesus is my hero, a super faithful friend who cares.
And I went on YouTube, watched her video, and then
we watched it right after we left. We were like on our phones YouTubing her.
yeah, we did. And I was watching it at Aldi. I was in the grocery store. Look, that's her video. Yeah.
The only way, the truth, the life, and my love. Just call on him in simple prayer.
We met Karen. She invited us to church, and she gave us one of these pamphlets that had her testimony on it, right? I read over it, and she had mentioned something about, I really wish I had a more hip-hop sounding song, 'cause I like your music. As I was reading over her testimony, Lauren said, hey, you should turn that into a song or something, and just write it for her. And I was like, okay. So I just randomly wrote a song. She didn't even know I was gonna write it.
We just stayed up in bed with our laptop, and we were just coming up with it together.
Yeah.
It didn't take long. That's how God is.
I was lost, but now I am found. I was slipping, I'm on solid ground. Who I was is not who I am now. Thank the Lord, I am no longer bound.
I want to sing, but I want to be an artist that can go from the old hymns to the gospel to the hip hop. I want to do what it takes for you to understand that you can have a life change. That's really what I am about, to be around these young people, because I'm old enough to be their mom. They have inspired me with this song, and I pray that the whole world will understand that when they hear that song, don't just be into the hook of it. Listen to the words. Death is the way to sin.
Sin is the way to death.
Death is the wage.
Okay.
That's the ghetto kicking in, so what can I say, okay?
I don't know what God's gonna take me with my music. I just want to do whatever pleases Jesus.
The human race ain't gonna make it like the way it's going. Somebody got to go down, and Jesus said, "You know what? I'll go." If he wouldn't have died for us on that cross, do you know all of us would be dead? And I probably would have been the first one. Not probably. I would be the first one, because if we were living by the 10 Commandments, I broke them all. But praise God, Jesus came on the scene. And because of him, he died for my sins, and I was forgiven. I have to examine myself every day, because I'm human. I'm flesh like everybody else. No, I'm not perfect. But why would I read the word and not live the word after all what God's done for me? So there you go. You know, we could have rode to California and back, and I would have been talking the Bible. Huh? God is good.
You gotta look at all that stuff that we went through. It's like a teaching lesson for us and for the people that we minister. Because these people are from the world out there. And that's what we were. We were out there in the world. The Lord kept us alive. We could have very easily lost our lives out there, just like a lot of people do. But the Lord kept us alive so that people would know and believe that it was his hand that was in it. Not anything what man had done. When we meet people, I don't think there's too much of anything that when we meet people, it surprises us. Because it's no surprise to when someone tells us that, you know, well, we're living together, blah, blah. Well, we lived together for a little while too. You know what? I was drinking. I was drunk. So what? What's new? If God can change me, He can do. Well, I was on drugs, and you just don't know. Well, same thing with her, and I dealt with that too. Well, my wife. Well, I had a wife that was waiting. Well, my husband. I had a husband that was waiting. You know, we know that it was God because we can sit up here and relate to it, not from some book. Books are okay. But when you got somebody that's actually lived that stuff and know that the Lord had actually came through and done this thing for them because we asked Him to, then we know that it wasn't anything in my power, but it was His power that did this here changing. So the weddings and the teaching and all this stuff is strictly from the book. And we believe 100% in what that Bible tells us. You know, that we should live righteous and God-like life as best we can. Believing in that word and doing it. So that's what we try to emulate and what we try to do when we're out there doing these things.
And you know what I have learned in all these years? That God has been with me every step of the way, even when I thought I was alone. Oh Lord, be my guide. Should this path open wide, keep me on your narrow way. But I can tell you this, He is faithful. He is faithful. He is faithful. That much I know is true. Bring me home in the light of the day. You were there every step of the way. Though I found myself lost in the flames, you shut the lion's mouth, carried me out, and your faithfulness has ever remained. Yes, your faithfulness ever